In this video, we will complete our Koch snowflake. And before we work in Illustrator, I want to draw your attention to Blackboard and show you where in the content area you will find the steps that we're following. The one we're doing today right now is the Koch snowflake steps to create it, and the first video we did the Sierpinski triangle. And as you can see, following this, we will go into the dragon fractal. Now we'll go back to Illustrator, and we should all have our scaled down version of the original 6-point star, and we have our scaled down version. The next thing we're to do is to use your selection tool, the black arrow, and select the little star and bring it up into one of the points of the big star. Now we are going to clone it by holding the Option down, drag it like so, and then power duplicate it by doing Command D, 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 D. And we then take each of the stars and place them in each of the points of the master star, the larger one. And we continue like this. And if you want to make a little adjustments, use your keyboard, the arrow keys on your keyboard, if you want to do some fine tuning. If you have, if it's frustrating, you can always make sure under View that you are not snapping to the grid or snapping to the pixel or snapping to the point. Make sure these are unchecked. I'm going to move this over to here. And we have each of the little stars occupies a place on one of the points of the bigger star. Okay, next thing, I want you to marquee select around the whole group like so. Make sure the Pathfinder panel is showing, and if it is not, go to Window and you locate Pathfinder. Now with the Pathfinder panel in view, hover your mouse over the first icon that says Unite and click it. You now have united all of the stars into one form. We're now going to repeat the process we did at the beginning by scaling this one down. Go to Object, Transform, Scale, and we're going to go horizontal, which is the width is 33%. Hit the tab. The height is going to be 34%. The preview shows you what it's going to look like. Then hit the copy button. You now have the junior version of this 6-point star. And we're going to repeat like we did before. Grab your mouse, make sure you're in the selection tool, bring this up into this point right there. And I'll nudge it this way. Now, clone it, Option, drag, Command D, 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 D. And then you take each of the little stars and place them into the point of the bigger star. And it works out pretty easily because of the way we scaled them. The percentages that we used enable us to make it easy to fit these in. I'm going to go like this here. And finally, this one here. Okay, now I'm making a little adjustments by using my nudge key. And I'll bring this one down a little bit. It really doesn't make much difference. Illustrator will do what we want it to do. Now we're going to select the whole group again and go to your Pathfinder panel and hit Unite. Now we've united all of them into this more complicated star. Now we're going to do it just one more time, and then we're going to make concentric outlines to give us the illusion of a snowflake type shape. So we have this selected, and repeat the object, transform, scale, and it should have in here what we had put in before. 33% horizontal, which is the width, and vertical is 34%. Hit copy and drag this up. I always do it on the top one like that, and then hold your Option down, drag a clone, then Command D, 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 and take the star and place it. Each star goes into one of the points of the larger star. All right, there you have the arrangement. And once more, marquee select over the whole array of stars, and then click the Unite button on the Pathfinder panel, and you have that. While this is selected, go to Object, Transform, Scale, and this time we're going to hit the Uniform button and scale it 65%. And the preview shows you what it's going to look like. By the way, whenever you're in a dialog box in Illustrator, when you click the preview, you will get an idea of what it's going to look like. When you unclick it, it goes back and shows you what's presently there. So I'm going to hit copy, and we now have that, and once again go Command D, and it repeats it. So now you have a concentric outline of the Koch, of the complicated exterior, the outline around the 6-point star. At this point, go to File, Save, and you'll save the Koch snowflake. As I indicated in the first one, when we did the Sierpinski triangle, when you are finished all of these, you will choose either the Koch snowflake or the Sierpinski triangle, and you will do File, Save a Copy as a PDF, and you will submit the PDF into the Blackboard assignment area, which is right here. One of these will be your fractal exercise number 1. Now we're going to return, we're going back to Illustrator, and I want you to do File, New, and we're going to repeat the same specifications. You're going to go 8.5 by 11, portrait orientation, and it's in inches, and hit Create. And this time, as with the others, to make it a little bit easier, go View, Show Grid. We're now going to start the dragon, and I will bring up one that I have already started, and with this one we'll go through several steps, and then you will be responsible for completing your own fractal, and I have given you examples of them in Blackboard. All right, so here's the one, that's the wrong one, and dragon, here we go. All right, now the first thing with this tutorial, I'm going to go like this. I'll move these out of the way over here. Okay, I'm going to go close up. When I went close up, by the way, just to remind you, it's Command plus. The space bar is the grabber hand, which allows me to move the document underneath the camera so I can see what I'm doing. Now, for this one, we're going to make a simple line, and I'm going to just take my pen tool and I'm going to click right here. I'm going to draw a line, a horizontal line. I'll go like this right here. And then I'm going to go back to my arrow, my selection tool, and I have an object created, a path. Now, these steps, it's important to follow these steps. Make sure that as we begin the process that you have your swatch panel in view. If it's not in view, you locate it by going to Window, Swatches. Okay. Now, you select the line that you just drew. The next thing we're going to do is go to Object, Transform, Rotate, and this is important. Make the angle minus 90 degrees. And it's in the preview, it's going to show you it's going to go vertical, and hit copy. Okay, now you're going to move, as soon as you have made the copy, immediately point to red and make the copy red. Now, I'm going to go close up and show you what I'm doing. I then grab the path and place it right here, like so. And now I'm going to go Command minus and go out. Okay. Now, as soon as I have done this first transformation where I copied the line and I angled it, I rotated it, as soon as you do that, they're both selected, select them both and make them both black. Now, this with the two lines, two paths selected, go Object, Transform, Scale. I want you to scale, sorry, wrong one. Object, Transform, Rotate. We change nothing. Keep it at minus 90 degrees and copy it. As soon as the copy is selected, make it red. This is very important, or else you'll be totally lost and confused as you make it more complicated. Now, while it is selected, you point to a part on the path. Don't point to an anchor point. And you're going to move this down and make sure it attaches to the end of the other one, which is going to look like that. And immediately select the whole thing and make it black. Now, at this point, you should have what appears to be a question mark reversed. Now, I want you to select the question mark and repeat the process again. So it's Object, Transform, Rotate, minus 90, copy, make it red. Then the next thing you will do is add the end of the clone to the end of the previous configuration, right? Like so, like that. Now I'm going to go down here and show you what's going on. Now, as you can continue this process, this is the configuration. This is what it's going to look like. Now, I'll do it one more time with you and show you why it's important that you follow these steps. I'm going to select all of our configuration and make it black. Go to Object, transform, rotate minus 90 degrees, copy, make it red. Now, this is where you have to make sure you're pointing to the path. Here it is over here. And you have to add that to the N. This N here adds to this end. So it goes here, like that. I'm going to use my nudge keys. Let's see. Okay, that looks okay. And we'll move it over just a little bit like that. Okay, so we now have a configuration that looks like that. Now, as you continue with the steps in this tutorial, I invite you to go to Blackboard. First, I'm going to make this all black. I invite you to go to Blackboard, and in the Dragon Fractal steps to create the Dragon Fractal, you will notice that as you continue performing these steps, this is where you're at right now, this one here. Then repeat it to here. Continue going, and you'll, as you do this correctly, the final solution will turn out to look like a dragon, almost like Jurassic Park. They call it, and evidently they use this fractal in some of the promotion, the marketing for Jurassic Park. Now I'm going to go back to Illustrator, and at this point I want you to do File, Save As, and call it Dragon Fractal, or just Dragon. We're going to know what that is, and save the Illustrator document.